Every morning, Mr. Bake woke up believing that working harder was the only way to build a better life. He left home before sunrise, hoping that another long day of work would finally change his future. Like millions of people, he traded his time for money every single day. He worked hard, stayed late, and believed that effort alone would eventually make him successful. But every month, his paycheck disappeared almost as quickly as it arrived. Rent, groceries, bills, and debt quietly consumed every dollar he earned. Online, everyone seemed rich, while he felt trapped in the same financial cycle. He believed that wealthy people were simply luckier than everyone else. One quiet evening, someone unexpected would completely change the way he thought about money. The old janitor smiled and said, "Most people don't stay poor because they earn too little. They stay poor because they never learn how money truly works." Those simple words echoed in Mr. Bake's mind all the way home. For the first time, he questioned everything he believed about money. Instead of judging successful people, he started observing how ordinary people spent their money every day. His coworkers celebrated every new purchase, even if it meant adding another payment to their growing debt. They upgraded their cars to look successful. Mr. Bake slowly realized appearances could be incredibly expensive. That very night, he made a decision. Every dollar would finally have a purpose. He stopped asking, "Can I afford this?" and started asking, "Do I truly need this?" Cooking at home seemed like a small change, but small habits eventually create big results. While others chased entertainment, Mr. Bake invested something even more valuable: his knowledge. Some people called him boring, others called him cheap, but Mr. Bake understood that discipline often looks strange to those who lack it. Month after month, his savings slowly grew. It wasn't a fortune yet, but for the first time, Mr. Bake was building security instead of just surviving. For the first time in years, Mr. Bake had something he had never owned before: peace of mind. Knowing he had an emergency fund helped him sleep better than any expensive luxury ever could. With savings in place, he became curious about something even more powerful: investing. At first, investing felt confusing and even a little frightening. Everyone around him warned that investing was risky, but fear often grows where knowledge is missing. Instead of following opinions, Mr. Bake chose to study facts for himself. His first investment wasn't large, but it marked the beginning of a completely different future. Month after month, he stayed consistent, proving that small actions repeated over time become extraordinary results. Others chased shortcuts. Mr. Bake chose patience, discipline, and steady progress. He finally understood a life-changing truth: wealth isn't built overnight. It's built through consistency that almost nobody notices. Mr. Bake no longer checked his investments every hour. He trusted consistency more than excitement. Then one ordinary morning, everything changed. The company announced massive layoffs. Fear spread across the office, but Mr. Bake reacted differently. When his turn came, he accepted the news with surprising confidence. Years earlier, losing his job would have destroyed him. Now, it simply became a new beginning. His savings and investments gave him something priceless. Time to make smart decisions instead of desperate ones. Instead of searching for another paycheck, he decided to build new skills. Every day, he invested in knowledge that no employer could ever take away. Soon, a simple idea turned into the beginning of his own business. For the first time, Mr. Bake wasn't building someone else's dream. He was building his own. Every successful business begins with one simple step: the courage to start. Soon, his first client trusted him with their financial future. The payment wasn't huge, but it proved that his knowledge had real value. Instead of upgrading his lifestyle, he upgraded his investments. He discovered that every dollar could buy two things: temporary pleasure or permanent progress. The more his investments grew, the less he worried about tomorrow. One satisfied client became 2, then 5, then many more. Trust became the foundation of his growing business. He wasn't just earning money anymore. He was helping others change their lives. Success didn't change who Mr. Bake was. It simply gave him the freedom to live life on his own terms. As his business grew, Mr. Bake stayed focused on serving people instead of chasing status. Soon, he realized he couldn't do everything alone. It was time to build a team. Hiring his first employee wasn't just business growth. It was proof that he was creating opportunities for others. He taught his team that helping people build wealth mattered more than simply selling a service. Every lesson he shared came from mistakes he had already overcome himself. His mission was no longer just making money. It was helping families build financial freedom. The greatest reward wasn't the applause. It was knowing someone's future had just changed. Success gave him a quiet moment to remember where his journey had begun. His clothes had changed. His income had changed, but his discipline had never changed. Mr. Bake finally understood that financial freedom isn't about looking rich. It's about building a life where money no longer controls your choices. As his business became stronger, his investments quietly continued growing in the background. Real wealth wasn't just about earning more, it was about managing money wisely. Soon, his money started buying assets that generated even more income. His first rental property wasn't a symbol of luxury, it was a symbol of freedom. While he slept, his assets continued working for him. Financial freedom gave him something money alone never could: more time with the people he loved. He remembered where he came from, so he never forgot to help others rise. He taught young people that financial freedom begins with habits, not income. One student asked, "Mr. Bake, when did you finally become financially free?" Mr. Bake smiled and replied, "The day my money started working harder than I did." Everything changed. The room became completely silent as everyone waited for Mr. Bake's answer. He smiled and said, "Financial freedom didn't begin when I became rich. It began the day I decided to control my money instead of letting money control me." The biggest difference wasn't income, it was the way he thought about every dollar. He explained that every dollar has a job, and every financial decision creates your future. Most people spend first and save what's left. Wealthy people save first and spend what's left. His words weren't complicated, they were practical, and that's what made them powerful. He reminded everyone that motivation comes and goes, but discipline changes lives forever. The audience applauded, not because they heard something new, but because they finally believed they could do it too. As he walked away, Mr. Bake knew the greatest investment he had ever made wasn't in stocks. It was in changing the way he thought. As he walked home, Mr. Bake reflected on the long journey that had changed his life forever. He remembered the mornings when he believed a bigger paycheck was the answer to everything. Now, he understood the truth. Financial freedom begins with better decisions, not bigger salaries. The greatest transformation wasn't visible in the mirror. It happened inside his mind. His money now worked quietly every single day, even while he rested. Financial freedom gave him something far more valuable than luxury. It gave him time. Even after becoming successful, Mr. Bake never stopped learning. He believed knowledge becomes truly valuable only when it's shared with others. Watching others succeed became one of his greatest achievements. He smiled at the skyline, knowing true wealth isn't measured by what you own, but by the freedom to choose how you live. Every sunrise reminded Mr. Bake that true success is built one decision at a time. His company no longer focused only on profits. It focused on changing people's futures. He reminded every new employee that financial discipline always comes before financial freedom. The wealthiest people don't simply earn more, they own more. While many people bought liabilities, Mr. Bake quietly collected assets. Even after reaching success, he continued learning every single day. Knowledge became his greatest investment, and teaching became his greatest passion. His message reached thousands of people searching for a better financial future. Every success story reminded him that changing one financial habit can change an entire life. Mr. Bake had discovered the secret. Financial freedom isn't reserved for the lucky. It's earned by those who make the right choices consistently. Success had changed Mr. Bake's lifestyle, but it never changed his values. Every decision he made focused on the next 10 years, not the next 10 days. Helping one family escape financial stress became more rewarding than earning another paycheck. He showed people that financial freedom follows a clear path for those willing to stay disciplined. Looking back, he realized the hardest battle had never been against poverty. It had been against his old mindset. Money no longer controlled his schedule. Freedom did. He never stopped learning because every lesson created another opportunity. His story inspired thousands of people to believe that financial freedom was possible. Across the country, ordinary people started changing small habits that would shape extraordinary futures. Mr. Bake understood one simple truth. Wealth begins the moment your habits become stronger than your excuses. Looking back, Mr. Bake realized that every small decision had shaped the life he now enjoyed. He never forgot the young man who once worried about every single paycheck. His transportation changed, but his habit of living below his means never did. He reminded everyone that time is the greatest investment tool most people ignore. Money grows fastest for those who stay patient when everyone else becomes impatient. Financial freedom doesn't begin with millions. It begins with your very next financial decision. Watching people leave with hope became the most valuable reward of his career. He smiled because he finally understood that wealth is measured by freedom, not by possessions. Every chapter of his journey proved that ordinary choices can create extraordinary results. Mr. Bake's journey was never about becoming rich. It was about becoming free. Mr. Bake realized that financial freedom isn't a destination. It's a lifestyle built through discipline. The business now ran because of strong systems, not because he worked every hour. For the first time in his life, money continued to grow. Even while he rested, he never stopped learning because he knew growth begins the moment learning never ends. He smiled at the memory of his struggles because every challenge had prepared him for this life. Standing before hundreds of people, Mr. Bake shared the lesson that changed everything. Your habits create your future. The audience realized that becoming wealthy isn't about earning more. It's about keeping and growing more. One conversation, one lesson, and one good decision can completely change someone's financial future. Looking back, every small step had quietly built an extraordinary life. Success didn't arrive overnight. It arrived one disciplined decision at a time. Years ago, these goals looked impossible. Today, they were simply memories of promises he had kept. Success became even more meaningful when he helped others grow alongside him. In the quiet moments, he remembered the nights when he wondered if life would ever change. That struggling young man never gave up, and because of that, everything became possible. The difference between financial stress and financial freedom is often nothing more than daily habits. He wanted the next generation to learn these lessons long before life forced them to. Every question reminded him that curiosity is the first investment anyone can make. For the first time, he wasn't chasing money. He was simply enjoying the freedom he had built. Every ordinary decision became another brick in the foundation of an extraordinary life. Mr. Bake finally understood that financial freedom isn't about having more money. It's about having more choices. The journey had taken years, but every disciplined decision had been worth it. Looking back, he realized success wasn't built by one big moment, but by thousands of small ones. The man had changed his habits, not his identity. That's what changed his future. He now shared his story, so others could avoid the mistakes that once held him back. His message spread far beyond his office, reaching people who were ready to change their lives. Financial freedom gave him the greatest luxury of all, time with the people who mattered most. He believed that true wealth grows when knowledge is shared with others. In the end, every lesson came back to four simple words: discipline, patience, consistency, and freedom. His story proved that ordinary people can build extraordinary lives through ordinary decisions repeated every day. Remember, most people never become financially free, not because they lack opportunity, but because they never change their habits. Start today, stay consistent, and let your money work for you. Your journey to financial freedom begins with the very next decision you make.